Hey Max there, how you doing? Hope everything's going good with you and Tammy Lynn. Okay. This. Hey Russell, hi, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning to you and Max. And David, good morning. Yeah, we'll have to see who pops in and who doesn't. Yeah, it's 30, it's right at the freezing mark right now, 32 degrees here. Hey Don, good morning. The it's still kind of chilly here, but we're supposed to maybe get up to 40 later today. Well, that all depends. Sad part is right here on the water by the lakes. It kind of we don't warm up as fast as inland. So okay, Russell. Yep. Does it give a time frame? Was when they're expecting to deliver it, or is it this week sometime? Okay, Dave, I got you. Oh, done. Well, I know you're going. You're heading that way. Are you on your way now, or are you going this weekend? This coming weekend. Congratulations to the papa. Being a grandparent is quite an experience. I've never had that, but yeah. Hopefully everything goes well with the delivery. Hey, Dave. Okay, Russell. Yep, I'll be looking for it sometime tomorrow. And I do appreciate it, Russell. You're a wonderful person. Hey, Corey. Good morning. Good morning, Corey. Yeah, it's kind of dreary down here, but you got your morning fisher people out trying to catch some fish. Did you eat your breakfast? Did you? Huh? You didn't eat your breakfast. How come? Yeah, that's Purdy's right there. That's commercial fishing. They go out in the lake and catch fish. They net the fish actually. Purdy's Fishery, and they have in this building here, I believe, they sell fish, fresh fish. And in the summertime, they I think they serve lunches and dinners there. Okay, Corey, you're always welcome. You know that, my friend. I don't know where Dominic is or Justin. Is the season that some people have things going on and things to do. I get it. Max. He That's the ship just came downstream, and I'm not having too good of luck with drones. I shot down there to catch that on its downbound and put the Autel Nano in the air, and it just was all over the place like this. The camera wasn't steady. Nothing seemed to be operating as it normally does. So I just landed and came back home, and I shouldn't have been down there anyway because it was slippery and I was sliding around and the footing wasn't good for me. I could have fallen and probably killed myself, but anyway, back home. That's good. Hey, Corey's here. Good morning, Corey. So you got a new Yeti, huh?
Let's see. Hey, good morning, Paul. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Sounds good.
Okay. I got the Yeti mic finally.
Well, that's what I've got two Yetis. I've got a smaller version over here. It's only about this tall, and then I got the bigger one over here that's, like this tall with the stand.
Yeah, I got that guy.
Yep, yep, that's what I've got over here.
The
But
well,
but
I
I
don't know.
also
This is the yeah, the X version of it.
yeah.
The Yeti X.
See, here's
I
here's
got
here's
it
my here's
for my daughter. She's doing online um tutoring, and you can't really hear very well with the built-in mics.
yep. Oh no.
And she's more like soft spoken, so it's very hard for her to like. And she's doing French too, so it's hard to do all the pronunciations right.
Here's the little guy.
Okay.
That's the little Yeti. And the big one
Yeah.
sitting right down there on the desk. Yeah, have you had Yetis before?
No, it's the first time.
Oh, you're gonna like it because the clarity and the noise cancellation is just extraordinary.
Did you install the software for it? The G Hub?
Yes.
Okay. There's so many options and everything in there, and
Yeah,
sort of yeah.
yeah. So how's the weather over there? Is it warming up or
Um, a little bit warmer, yeah. It's less
well
windy than yeah.
yeah, we're right at the freezing mark here, so it's kind of like which is absolutely perfect if you want to slip and fall.
Yeah.
Because we got a little bit of rain on top of the misty rain on top of the snow. So, you know, it looks like you're on pavement or on sidewalk, but it's you're slipping and gipping.
Yeah, I think it's like 12 Fahrenheit here today. And then
Ah,
yesterday it was like 5, so it's a little bit warmer.
okay, yeah, yeah.
But everything is still frozen out there, right?
Yeah, everything. We got about 6, 8 inches of snow, and it's starting to melt already. So, obviously because the ground temperature is a little bit warmer than what you think it is, and so it's going to start heating it up from underneath.
Hmm.
So how much snow did you get this winter? Quite a bit, or
Enough, yeah. I
okay,
don't know in total, but we still have pretty big snowbanks like this big still.
yeah,
Yeah. The plows had to come by and take it off all the sidewalks. So it was almost over our head, like when we would do the pile at the end of the driveway.
uh-huh.
So they came this weekend and took it all off. And we still have like in our front yard, still a lot of snow. Not as much as we normally get, but it's still a significant amount. Now it's all like hard because we had rain and then it froze.
Right.
So it's all crunchy on top.
Yeah, here's my cameras outside.
Yeah, that's like a dusting compared to us.
Yeah.
I'll show you mine. I have it open here. Share screen.
Yeah, it was completely gone 2 days ago. Oh
So
yeah.
so this here is like the driveway in front.
Yeah.
So we still have a little bit. Um, and then well, this is the front. Still have some snow. Yeah. I
Sure.
suspect some more is going to be coming.
Yeah, because it's only just at the end of February. We got January and March yet. And I know you guys probably, but I know we've gotten snow here in early March.
Yeah, and this is in Lake Placid, my
Okay.
parents' camp, which I don't think is that I can't. It's hard. It's deceiving, but I think they may have a little bit less than us.
Yeah, but they have snow.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank Rizzo is here. One of his many stage names. Yeah, that's the Thomas Edison Depot right there.
Oh,
That
that's right
is,
near the bridge.
yeah, it's right
Yeah.
underneath the bridge, and that is the original depot. See the train tracks. The trains used to run from here down to Detroit and then out branch out from there. And it used to go up into the thumb. And that's the depot that Thomas Edison, as a young lad, used to be a butcher. I think that's what they call him, a butcher, where they sold cigarettes and all kinds of stuff to all the passengers, candy,
Oh, okay.
that kind of stuff. And that's where he started before he got famous for electricity.
Like his first job or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. He was just a young teen. I think he was 12 or 13.
Neat.
So it's called the Thomas Edison Depot. Now it's like a museum type of thing.
So the locks are all closed right now.
Yes, the locks
Okay, so there's no ships.
down at the southern end, and the locks between Lakes Michigan and Huron up at the Sault Ste. Marie has been closed. They close them every year at the same time for maintenance on the locks.
Okay.
So they are closed, and I think they're going to be closed until about like I'm thinking March the 10th or so, somewhere in that area. And they'll open back up again.
So like almost 2 months they close?
Every ship that's down here below uh, like Niagara Falls and that kind of stuff, is locked in here for the next month and a half, 2 months.
But do you get much ice up there?
On occasion, right now, those little spots, I don't know if you can see them out there, that probably is ice. The icebreakers are out downriver. I think there is some ice. Let me see if I can pull up.
But there wouldn't be too much traffic anyways with the locks closed, I guess, right?
No, but there's commerce on the lakes itself. In other words, like Sarnia has a big oil refinery, and
Okay. They
they
move stuff around.
produce they produce gasoline, fuel oil, all kinds of stuff, and so they have tankers, and that was what that tanker was that just came down.
Okay.
Um, but and they go over to like Chicago or up north, drop off. Um, let me see. St. Clair River. I'll see if I can pull up the St. Clair River can. Not a lot there. Um, Screen share. You can see a little bit of ice out there floating in the river,
Yeah, that's not much.
but not much.
But it has to be really cold for quite a bit of days, I guess, to have any ice, I guess.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I just went down and looked at Algonac too. Not much going on down there. That's an island there, and the main channel for ships come up here.
Okay.
So let me see if let's back it around a little bit and see if we can see anything. There goes the ferry going over. That's over to Canada, from the US to Canada. It looks like they got less snow there than we do here.
Yeah, you can see their tracks and not very much snow there.
So I know that the the icebreakers are out and moving around, but they're not very busy. Because I haven't also heard a lot of chatter. I haven't heard a lot of chatter on the marine radio, like fishermen out on the ice and that kind of stuff. So just hasn't been conducive for ice fishing so far. Yes, that's right, Frank. It's supposed to maybe get up to 50, but I don't. Here they're always saying 2 or 3 or 4 degrees less, but yeah, it's supposed to warm up. It's supposed to warm up today to maybe be 40 here. So, and if it does that, that'll liquefy some of it, but not a lot.
Yeah, on Friday we're looking at 0 Celsius, which is 32. But our nighttime is like -11 still. So what's that? Like 12 degrees. It's
I, do you ever watch that Mike and Joel?
no, I don't know.
Oh, it's funnier than hell. Let me see if I can.
This morning, if we're secure now at the South Dock of Imperial, here approximately 24 hours. And request.
This is the Mike and Joel.
Oh, it's on flip flop.
It's on shorts, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the things that a dentist says to you.
Ah, yeah, we don't hear the sound, just the video.
You hear it better now?
Traffic on it.
No.
Anyway, they put shorts out all the time. They're really pretty good.
Huh.
Entertaining.
Never saw it, yeah. Yeah, this morning one of my daughters missed the bus, so I had to drive her in.
How far?
Ah, it's less than a kilometer. We could walk
Oh.
there if we wanted to.
Yeah, okay. In other words, in nice summer weather, it's just a walk, right?
Yeah, it's like a 15-minute walk with the kids. It's for me, it's like a 8-minute walk. Kids are always a bit slower.
Marshall says it's gonna be 70. Marshall says it's gonna be 78 degrees there today.
Wow.
Well, I find, Corey, the older I get, the less I like cold weather, because when we were kids, there was ice skating, there was all kinds of winter stuff,
Hmm.
But then when you get to an age where your body can't do and you don't want to do any of that kind of nonsense, then I could do without winter. I now I understand why a lot of Canadians, especially older Canadians, go south for the winter.
Yeah. But compared to like here versus you got not as much snow as we do, for
Oh,
instance. Yeah, so you're a bit lucky, but still I understand, yeah.
well, the thing of it is I remember as kids, the snow used to be on the boulevards 4 or 5 feet deep. And because we used to go out as young kids and we tunnel in them and make our own little igloos and that kind of stuff out of the snow.
Ports and stuff, yeah.
Not now. And it's been my generation. It cannot pass that on to the present generation because there's just not enough snow, which is fine.
Even here we're noticing there's even less snow too,
Yeah.
like in general.
How Yeah, I can't imagine. Well, we used to have a ski place here out west of town where we used to go snow skiing, and they closed up, and not a lot of ski resorts, unless you could start to go up north and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, from me I have to it's about an hour away. There's a couple of them.
Yeah,
But it seems like this year they're a little bit later to start, but depending on the weather, they make their own. A lot of them they make their own snow because it doesn't snow enough,
right.
but it has to be cold enough to be able to make it. But they're all open here for a while now. But yeah, I think one of them closed because it was raining so much the past week and a half ago, I guess it was, and we had all that
Right.
rain.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
didn't want all the people there ruining all the hills and stuff while it's snowing, right, or raining on it.
Here comes Lance with his audio. Hello, Lance.
Morning, Paul. Morning, Corey.
Hey, good morning, Lance.
What's new with you, Lance? Anything?
So about 3 weeks ago, I woke up with a bad back, and I mean, I was in bed for all weekend, and then it went away, and then it kind of came back last weekend. It must be the weekend where I've got to do all my chores, right? Um, but it's sticking around, and it's still bothering me today. I had a really major back surgery in 2015. So it's been 9 years. I wonder if the screws last 9 years. I don't know.
Yeah, once you get to a certain age and stage in life, where either through an injury or just aging, it seems like our body doesn't want to cooperate.
Yeah. And I'm supposed to play indoor golf on Sunday. There's no way I can swing a golf club right now.
So the weather's good enough for the people that are still out there golfing, huh?
Well, it's indoor golf. I don't know if you've seen that. You hit it into a big screen.
Oh
then
yeah,
you-
yeah.
You know, so but it's good enough to golf. There's golfers on my golf course that I see every day. They're out there, rolling
Well, the
around.
hardcore golfers will go out even if it's cold, as long as they can still swing the clubs and do things. And most of them all have electric golf carts. And
Yep, exactly. So is your drone coming in today? Do you know?
tomorrow,
Tomorrow, good.
yeah,
What's up with you?
nothing. I went down to try and catch a ship with my little Autel Nano, and it was just all over the air. It just and the camera, wasn't stable, and I can't figure out what it is, but it is what it is. I'm probably going to have to fire it up and see what's going on with it.
I don't know enough about that drone. Can it recalibrate? Can you recalibrate it?
It could be. Like I say, I'm a flyer, not a fixer, and so
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try and
Yeah.
And what I don't like about it is you got to go through so many different steps in order to put it in the air, where the DJI is turn on and go, and
Yeah, and there's I know on the DJI there's you can recalibrate
Yes.
the gimbal, you can
Yeah.
reset the camera settings in the controller, but yeah, I just didn't know if you could in the Autel. But even that's I love the old Go 4 app, and then when they changed to the Fly app for DJI, I hated it. Now and now I fly that one all the time,
Yeah.
the Fly app, and I don't fly the Go 4 app hardly ever because it's only on my Mavic 2. And so when I fly my Mavic 2, which is very rare, I've got to think, oh, geez, where's all this, where are the settings? So it kind of takes me.
Corey, do you ever fly camera drones or just mostly all the racing?
I have an Air 2
Oh, do
and
you?
a Mini 2.
Okay.
They've been sitting in the case probably for 8 months now. I think the last time I took it out, I was actually just thinking and taking it out to fly.
Corey has been doing a lot of racing. In fact, you raced this last weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, I raced the tiny whoops, the little tiny ones in a brewery. So
They went
set up
inside a
course there.
brewery, Lance, and raced. And they set up a race.
Do you have footage?
Do you have a camera?
I do. Well, the race director has it. I can pull it up. It's on
Okay.
Facebook.
And is this like a tournament that you race, or just kind of for fun?
It's just for fun between some of us. We were 9 total.
Cool.
It's analog video, okay, so it's not digital.
Okay.
Sure.
Just a warning, because it's not going to. It's some of them are flying digital, but show you here. So here's 4 feeds of all the pilots, and I'm in the top right up here.
Okay.
That's in the brewery here, yeah. I hit a lot of things this first little round, but
That's cool.
you see the big vats and stuff and whatnot, and
I see. I'm amazed, Lance. Those guys at that speed are able to go through the hoops.
They're crazy town, I tell you. They're very skilled.
Yep.
And is that what you see, Corey? So it's kind of broken up like that when you fly?
It is a bit, mine's a bit better because through my goggles, I'm sitting a bit closer and I sort of have a better feed. But yeah, there's a little bit of a breakup.
Okay.
But when you're flying, you get used to it. You don't really notice it. Yeah, I think this is my best 3 laps. So you're going to see on the right here is all our positions. So what we do is the top 3 best laps in a row. That's how we kind of score each other.
So it's
And then
based
this guy
on
just took
time.
second place. Yeah.
It's based on time.
Yeah, so it's your best 3 laps consecutive.
Okay.
You see, that's why I got second place. I just passed.
I see that guy keeps hitting something.
Yeah.
And so, Corey, does it record you going through the hoops or not?
So we have one gate that's for the timing, so that's the start and stop. And there's a device on there that measures the frequency when it goes by, and then it knows when we go by, and it records it.
So you have a way of having different frequencies to identify the drone, right?
Yeah, so we call it on race bands. It's sort of like the FPV, so we have different channels. In this case, I think we're like 1, 3, 5, and 7, I think it was. And then based on those channels, that's what the device receives, knows who's flying, and then that's what it records as.
Cool. Yeah, that's a young man's sport, Lance, for me.
And for me, I love my Avata, but it only goes 30 max, and I usually don't go through gaps at 30 miles an hour either. So
Yeah.
Hey, Corey, those great big, huge, giant ones, the big ones. Have you ever flown the race those?
No, the X-Class ones you're talking
Yes.
about, but I have seen people at my when we're outside racing, they have them. And oh yeah, those things they're wild, yeah.
And they'll do like 110 or 120 miles an hour, right?
Or more, yeah. Yeah.
Man,
And they're big honking things going by, and like those, they're like, I think like 10-inch props.
Yeah.
They're huge. Yeah.
And they're usually hexacopters too, or octocopters, aren't they?
No, well, it depends. Normally they're like regular four blades.
4 blades.
They're
Okay.
normally quad. But there's some that have it's still like in a like I guess like an X, but they have 2 motors on each arm.
Okay.
So double the amount of props, so like 8. But it's still in the same configuration as a quadcopter.
So when they have double the props, do they have them top and bottom, or they have them up the arm?
Up the arm. They have smaller ones. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can find you a picture of one. And when they crashed, a lot of things break on it.
Oh, I'll bet.
They're going so fast and they're so heavy.
What's the flight time on a big one like that?
I think it's the same as our FPV, probably about 2 to 5 minutes max.
Okay. Frank says his 3-inch will do 110 miles an hour. Wow, I can't imagine flying something at 110 miles an hour. Everything would be like a flash.
exactly.
Well, and besides that, in order to stop at that kind of speed, you got a long distance in order for that copter. It's not going to stop on a dime. You know, it's got to tilt, stop, and continue to slide.
I think I have a video I can share. I think he has he put a 360 camera on it.
Oh wow!
So here's sort of the drone itself. It looks a bit weird because it's in the 360 view, but and then he changes it to flying. So that's the one that has 2 motors per arm. So they're a little bit smaller props. And this is where he crashes. So with the larger drones, we don't use the same gates as the 5-inch ones. 'Cause
Oh
they're too
no!
small. So
Yeah.
he doesn't have it set up. He's just flying around testing it. Because it'd be nearly impossible to fit through the gates.
Smaller
The
gates,
5-inch ones are like 5 feet by 5 feet. And I think the drone itself might be 6 feet, right? How big it is. So
Exactly.
there's not much room. And actually, there's 2 of them flying. You probably saw another one. Oh, they crashed into each other.
Wow.
Crazy.
And the sound on that, because they're a lot like lower pitch sound, so you can really hear them when they're going.
Yeah, that's why I don't like the Avata. It's so loud compared to the mini drones. Paul, have you heard the Mini 3 Pro before? Have you heard it in flight?
No, I've had, but I did have a Mini 2, I think, at one point in time.
And the Mini 3 is even more quiet. You know, so when you fly, you've flown your Air 2, you're going to fly the Mini 3, and you're going to wonder where it is. It's so much more quiet.
So quiet, yeah.
But the Avata, it has smaller props, right? And it spins faster, so it's probably a higher winding sound.
Yeah, it's really whiny.
Good morning, Daryl. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, the whole hobby has changed. FPV has really changed droning, and it'll never go back, because there was a time when FPV wasn't around. When I first started flying, there was no such thing as goggles and FPV and all that kind of stuff. The old Futaba controllers, and
Yeah, people used to put like at the beginning of FPV like security cameras
yep.
on their drones, and then people were making they would take like monitors and attach them to like ski goggles to make like a goggles, right? Before they actually had
Exactly.
goggles. It was
Yeah.
wild what they were doing. A lot of it, I think, was they started it more like in a fixed wing, because it was you can actually carry more equipment in a
Right.
fixed wing. it was pretty neat how they were starting out. And nowadays it's everything is so tiny, right? You know, those little tiny whoops, right? They're so small.
Yeah,
They're like
exactly.
18 grams, like they're nothing. And they can go pretty fast, probably like 40, 50 kilometers, some of those little tiny ones. Yeah. I guess any Cinewhoop's pretty loud because they have small props that spin really fast. You get that winding noise versus like
Right.
the Mavic 2 or 3s, they have bigger props, run slower, and the sound resonance is lower,
There,
so you don't really.
there's what my first copter looked like. Chainsaw motor, 6 foot top rotor, 4 foot, 3.5, 4 foot tail rotor, and it was gas powered, of course.
Is that all custom built?
Yeah.
Like a death trap waiting to happen. Don't get close to that.
Oh yeah, because there wasn't any no computer assist at all on that. You had
What was the props made out of? Wood?
wood.
Wood.
Yeah. Yeah,
You'd stay far back from
I
that.
remember being at a friend of mine's house down south of me, and he was out flying one similar to that, and I was standing there, and all of a sudden the wind caught it, and it blew past us at about 35 miles an hour. Those great big props are just spinning. Holy cow!
Take your head off if it hits
Yeah,
you.
yep.
And you had nobody telling you what you can do back then, right? All this FAA, you can't fly here, you can't
Oh
do
no,
that, right? There's not that didn't even existed, eh?
it
Nothing.
was all seat of your pants, you know.
Until it
But
became like more consumer, like everybody can buy it at Best Buy now coming
yeah,
up.
yeah, that's the scary part is knowing what we know about how modern day uh, aircraft fly. How like a 13-year-old goes to Best Buy and buys a drone, and then thinks they're going to automatically go out and fly it, you know.
Well, Russell's telling you an update on your drone.
Yep. I don't know where Middleburg, Ohio, I think is probably, if it's going to a distribution center closer to me, or if it's usually it comes in and goes into Detroit and then gets parceled out from there.
It's near Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's right.
Who was that Cleveland pitcher that flew first person drones, and in the playoffs he took his drone, he was, on a day off, he took his drone out and he cut his finger and cut his pinky, and he had it glued, and tried to fix it. He pitched the next day and you saw blood dripping from his finger when he was on the pitcher's mound. What was his name? And he's trying to hide it as much as he could, because you can't have fluids, running off your fingers if you're on the pitcher's mound. You guys remember that? It was
I don't remember that.
I don't remember. Yeah.
about 5 years ago. His last name started with a B. Somebody in the chat, Cleveland pitcher.
Well, that used to be the scary thing when I used to fly my Inspire, because they've got good sized props,
Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
Bauer.
Okay. And what happened is I started flying because the difference in the props made a difference in the speed. And I started flying with carbon fiber. And then when you take off or you land, and if a kid ran up on that, it'd cut their leg off. or a small dog were to run up to it and cut its nose off, whatever. So, it's like at that point forward, I went back to the plastic props,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have an incident with a dog one time, but it was we were flying. Dog ran up when I was landing and tried to jump at it. But it didn't hurt it or anything. It was my 5-inch, but I'm lucky. But it was one of the guys we were flying with, his dog, so didn't seem to bother him, but really, I don't know, it could have did a lot of damage to a dog,
Sure.
especially like the 5-inch.
I don't want to share that. I'm trying to share my screen here. Show you his finger. Where is it? Here. Share. You guys see the Cleveland Indian guy?
Oh, yeah.
But he's trying to pitch, and
Bloody finger. Yep.
Did it say what drone did that?
oh, he was flying a first person view. I'm sure you could do some research.
A small FPV, probably.
He used to be really outspoken on Twitter, so you could probably find him on Twitter and find some of his stuff, because he's pretty belligerent. I would, to put it nicely. I had some interaction with him because Cleveland plays in Seattle, and I said, hey, let's get together and meet, and we had some conversations, but I'm sure he thought, some yahoo I'm not gonna meet on the street, these guys
Right.
that make millions, they're not gonna, I could be a yahoo for all he knew, and we never met up or anything, but we did have a couple conversations about drones. And I'm not a first person view drone dude. At that time especially, I was only a camera guy. And I'm still not a first person view dude. I fly the Avata. That's a first person view on training wheels.
Oh, okay, yeah, he flies FPV. Yeah, I was just looking at some of his videos.
Yeah. And I don't think he's a pitcher any longer. I think he's retired.
Oh, he did it a second time. He cut his finger.
Yeah. Most of the time he's arming the drone and he has his finger in there.
He says he got my finger stuck in a drone blade again. That's 2018 through Twitter.
Yeah. Yep.
I had to pitch out some peanuts for my little buddies.
I have to leave in about 10 minutes. I have a dentist appointment. Just a regular cleanup.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
10:30.
I appreciate you stopping in.
Yeah, no worries.
Usually this time of year and this time of the day, if I can fill an hour, I'm
You're doing good.
well.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you and Lance both popping in, because there's nothing worse than talking to yourself on a computer.
Well, I do that all the time. I'm in meetings at work all the time because we're all virtual, right? So I
Sure.
must have like 5 or 6 meetings a day typically.
And
Well,
I have
yeah,
a
but
meeting. I have a meeting at 7 as well, so that's in about 10 minutes. I've got to walk upstairs
Yeah.
very
Well,
slowly. with my neck.
We'll probably end up closing it up in about 5, 6, 7 minutes, and and give you guys a chance to get what you got to get done and get ready. In fact, we might as well close it now. Everybody, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks, Corey, for coming in. Thanks, Lance.
Take care, everyone.
We'll see all of you again later. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.